Good morning, everyone, and happy Sabbath. This morning, we're reading from our usual book, Strength for the Day, and the title of our lesson today is Easy? Live at peace with everyone. Romans 12, verse 18. There is a curious text buried in Matthew 10. Jesus is speaking to his disciples. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Matthew 10, verses 34 to 36. These are the words of the Prince of Peace. In a perfect world, we would be at peace with everyone because we would all be living in love. But we do not live in a perfect world. Our words and actions are not always loving. Neither are the words and actions of anyone else, including our families. When it comes to family issues, we tend to hide the details in a bubble of normalcy. That is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can make us forget that others may have similar struggles. We clash and feelings get hurt. Thankfully, I am responsible only for my actions. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Romans 12, verse 18. Everyone includes the rude cashier, the aggressive driver, the customer service rep, and our families. Remember, we will not be called to account for their behavior. We will only answer for our own. So how would Jesus want us to behave towards one another? Luke records Jesus' words. If you love only those who love you, why should you get credit for that? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good only to those who do good to you, why should you get credit? Even sinners do that much. And if you lend money only to those who can repay you, why should you get credit? Even sinners will lend to other sinners for a full return. Love your enemies. Do good to them. Lend to them without expecting to be repaid. Then your reward from heaven will be very great. And you will truly be acting as children of the Most High. For he is kind to those who are unthankful and wicked. You must be compassionate, just as your Father is compassionate. Luke 6, verse 32 to 36. This is not easy, but we are not called to do what is easy. We are called to be like Jesus. In his strength, we can be kind and compassionate, both inside and outside of our homes. And Trout. Well, I don't know about you today, but I have been strengthened for the day. The title of our lesson today was Easy, and that's a question. Easy. Is it easy? Miss Trout reminds us of how we are supposed to be as Christians. It's not easy to be a Christian and to follow Christ-like characteristics. Forgiving the unlovable, the person who has just overtaken you on the road, the person who has looked at you with a look of disdain, possibly because of what they perceive you to be. The person who is set to be in charge of you, your manager at work, maybe has given you a hard time on the job this week. It's not easy to forgive these persons. That family member who spoke harsh words to you, or you believe that they could have treated you better. They could have shown you love. They could have shown you that, hey, I am your family member. I love you. I care for you. And you're not receiving that kind of love. It's not easy to forgive that person. But the Lord has called us to a special mandate to love each other, to do what is not easy. When we took up this role of being a follower of Christ, He didn't say it would be easy. And one of the things that we have to learn to do, especially me, is to forgive. I have struggled with that over the years, and I've recognized that when you surrender your pride, when you surrender your ego, because that's what it's about, when you don't forgive a person, it's because that ego is in you that says, who, me? I'm not talking to her, I'm not talking to him, because he has done this to me. But Christ says, no, that's not the mentality. And no, when persons do me wrong, I meet them with grace. God has been too good to me for me to allow any man, woman, boy, or girl to rob my peace. Do you know how awesome it is to have peace and to allow an individual who potentially does not know Christ? Because if you know Christ, you operate in a different way. You have a different outlook on life. And I'm going to allow someone who has no bearings on my future to affect my peace? It doesn't matter who it is. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a foe. Nothing is going to separate me from the peace that God has given to me. I have struggled too hard and too much in my earlier years with unforgiveness to allow anyone to take away this peace that God has given to me. I have fought for this and I'm fighting for it by the grace of God. So I don't know who is hearing this message, but if you're finding it hard to forgive, I'm telling you, it's worth doing. Let it go, release it. There are lots of health challenges that you will face. Your blood pressure will go up, your cortisol levels will go up. I don't want to get into a health lecture, but it has physical effects on forgiveness, mental, psychological effects, emotional effects, and it's just not worth it. So I'm imploring someone today, I'm speaking to myself as well, because it is a process, it is a journey, and even though I have acknowledged this unforgiveness that remains in me, that's not the end. The first step is acknowledging it and giving it to God. Now you, me, we have to do the work. We have to make sure that we don't let anything separate us from the Lord, and unforgiveness can do that. So I'm going to ask you, I'm asking myself as well, to think about a person that may have done us wrong, or we may have done them wrong, and reach out to that person, call them, message them. That's the first step. Break the ice and let's see God do a great thing in our lives, because sometimes there are some blessings for us to receive, but because of that unforgiving heart, we stop that blessing. And I'm speaking to myself as well. So it's not gonna be easy, and He never promised that the road would be easy, but He said you'd be on the journey with us. So I hope that you're encouraged today. I hope that you've been strengthened today. Love the unlovable today. Yes? And for the week that we're going into, we're gonna love the unlovable. Okay? That is a promise. Please, let's make that promise to each other. We're loving the unlovable, whether it be a family member, a friend, a foe. We're gonna love them, because that's what Christ wants us to do. So thanks for tuning in. Have a blessed Sabbath day, and I'll see you tomorrow.